Good morning, everyone. My name is Carolyn Hart Bennett, and yesterday I finished reading the last chapter of my book, Seven Sisters the Trek. It was chapter 45. Well, at the end of the book, there is an epilogue, and I read it yesterday, but as I went back to review my video, I found out that somehow it had kind of been cut off, so I had to edit it right off, and it ends rather abruptly. But today I'm going to read the epilogue to you, and the first one is about Eleanor Weis and John Harvey Tippett. Eleanor Weis, age 23, married John Harvey Tippett, age 53, on December 26, 1863, just 2 months after arriving in Salt Lake City. She became his third wife. His first wife died in Nauvoo. So she lived with the second wife and John Harvey in a polygamous marriage for 19 years. John Harvey died in 1890, leaving Eleanor a widow for 30 years. She died in Irmo, Idaho in 1920. Eleanor and John Harvey had 6 children together. Me, Carolyn Hart Bennett, am from the line of their son, Levi William Tippett. The next epilogue concerns Lavinia Triplett and George Careless. Lavinia Triplett married George Careless in 1866. She was considered the most renowned singer in Utah in her day. She sang for 15 years as the lead soprano of the Tabernacle Choir, and she also performed in many musical concerts in the Salt Lake Theater under the direction of her husband, Professor George Careless. George led the Tabernacle Choir for 10 years and wrote and arranged much of the music for the choir and the orchestra. He composed music for 9 of the hymns in the 1985 LDS hymn book. Together they had 3 children together. The next little epilogue has to do with President Brigham Young. President Brigham Young began to colonize the Great Basin as soon as the Latter-day Saints arrived in the Salt Lake Valley in 1847, sending out exploratory parties to find suitable places to make settlements. By the turn of the century, there were more than 500 Mormon settlements established in the corridors of the Rocky Mountains from as far north as Alberta, Canada, to as far south as Chihuahua, Mexico. And this is the quote from Brigham Young that I closed out the epilogue with. I want hard times, so every person who does not wish to stay for the sake of his religion will leave. So that's the end of the epilogue and the end of my book. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed recording it. And I know I made a lot of mistakes, but please forgive me. Anyway, till next time, over and out. Ta-da!